What's up guys, Game Fiend of all games here, and I'm back with another drama script to Saturday, and it looks like we found out what they're going to do with Roman Reigns. They're just going to throw him in another feud with the Big Show. I thought they did this already, but yeah, they're going back with the Roman Reigns Big Show feud, which this is, to me, in my opinion, is going to be boring as hell, and expect some out of control match for them to have at Extreme Rules. And for those that saw Raw UK in England, it was all over the place. It was bad. First off, you have Roman Reigns getting jumped from the front, which that didn't really make any sense to me. Then he got choke slammed through that car that was on the stage. First, we see that Seth Rollins will be facing Dolph Ziggler for his stipulation match to pick in the match against Randy Orton. But then later on, Kane changes it to himself. Now, why not just have Dolph Ziggler come out and face Seth Rollins and have BS interference where Seth Rollins still wins anyway, but instead they have it so the match is against Kane. Kane switches it, puts himself in the match, choke slams Seth Rollins, thought about tombstoning him, but then just put Seth Rollins over his body to have him pin him to have Seth Rollins win. So we could just have Dolph Ziggler beat Nedville. So Nedville could lose 2 weeks in a row now. Which doesn't really sit well with me. And then have Randy Orton versus Cesaro and in a DQ. But then they make it a handicap match and Randy Orton still wins. I don't know. It really was all over the place. That's all I could say. And the stipulations is all Seth Rollins wanted was the RKO to be banned. Really? Out of anything that he could have picked, he could have picked No Holds Barred. He could have picked Falls Count Anywhere, but that's basically the same thing. He could have picked Last Man Standing. He could have picked a freaking Curb Stomp Cinder Block match. He could have picked anything. He picks that the RKO is banned. Randy Orton picks a steel cage match. So, yeah, I think Randy Orton kind of wins here because now Seth Rollins is locked in a steel cage with Randy Orton. And just because he can't use the RKO, that doesn't mean Orton could still punt Seth Rollins in the head. So I don't know who's doing the writing on these matches, but out of everything Seth Rollins could have picked, he's really afraid of the RKO. Only because Randy Orton could hit it from out of nowhere. I guess he's having flashbacks of WrestleMania. But it is what it is. I surprisingly enough, I have a strong feeling that I'm very interested in Cena versus Rusev. I have a feeling that may be the best match on the card, because everything else doesn't seem to. No, actually no. Seth Rollins and Randy Orton should be good because they had a good match at WrestleMania. So no, that main event should be well, even though the RKO is banned. And Nedville losing 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. First week gets Curtis Axel, wins. Okay, fine, because Curtis Axel is a jobber. Second week, they face, they gave him Seth Rollins. Okay. I can respect that loss. Because, you know, Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion. So, a guy that's 2 weeks in at that point on the main roster shouldn't beat the World Heavyweight Champion. Third week, you put him against Dolph Ziggler. I don't see why you would do that, because Dolph Ziggler needs a win for his momentum. You took him out of a match to begin with. And then you throw him against Neville. So none of the other jobbers were available for Neville to beat. What's the point of bringing a good NXT superstar up if you're just going to have him lose? I know it's only 3 weeks in, but Neville really needs a win at this point. Or unless all this losing just to push him heel. I don't know, and he hasn't said a word, so we haven't heard any charisma of him on the main roster. So I don't really know. I know everybody's gonna say it's too early to criticize this, that, and the third, but he's new and he's good for the people that do watch NXT. You know he's good, and he just lost 2 weeks straight on Raw. Paige is the #1 contender for the women's title, so Nikki Bella versus Paige at Extreme Rules. Can't wait for that match. Hopefully they have Paige win back the belt. And in other news, Tazz parted ways with TNA. Tazz is no longer an announcer for TNA. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. Nothing outrageous happened. It's just a pretty horrible Raw that looked like it was put together on the fly. Which is bad because Raw was taped. It wasn't live. So, could have had ideas to do things, but it looks like it was rushed together. But anyway, that's going to wrap this up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. Remember, there's Drama Scripted Saturday every Saturday, and if you like what you have witnessed, please like this video, share it, and subscribe, and feel free to ask me a question. The way to contact me is in the description box below. And until next week, guys, I'm Game Fiend of all games, guys, and I'm out of here. Later, and peace.